Hallo liebe Zuschauer, willkommen in Let's Be Real. Ich habe heute einen ganz besonderen internationalen Gast, Generalsekretär der Christdemokraten aus Litauen, Herr Martynas Prievelis. Welcome, Mr. Prievelis. It's a big pleasure for me to have you here. My first question is Russian invasion in Ukraine. I would definitely start with this topic because I know how you feel about it and what position you do have. You always mention that we have to win this war. Who are this we, and was Germany part on this we from your perspective?
So hello everyone, really nice to be here. And also regarding the Russia's war in Ukraine, well, I guess we should start from the beginning. You know, the war itself, it didn't start on February 24th. It started way earlier. Back in Georgia, we saw the situation. Then they occupied Crimea. Then they started a bigger war just in February. But I guess it is really important to understand that there were some countries, for example, Baltic countries, who always understood this threat and always were convincing our partners that if we will not give a decent response to the regime in Russia, such actions will come. And the things that we are seeing at the moment is just the result of not sufficient actions before. And of course, now the situation is changing. I'm happy to see that the response from the European countries, from the United States, it's a way bigger. But still, we cannot stop. We have to push further. Of course, we have, you know, autumn and winter coming, when we will have like a big increase of the energy prices, and we have to be ready for that. We cannot step back, and that's where, of course, Germany is a part of we, and all democratic world and all the values-based world, well, human values are important. They are we.
Okay, and Lithuania is much advanced, more in technologies compared to Russia, once you said. How could this adventure be used in the support of Ukraine?
Well, I think that the situation that we are having now, we see that Ukraine, due to the support of the Western countries, not Lithuania, but in general of the Western countries, they have more advanced technologies. And now we see the results that they are pushing back Russian army, and I guess that is the result of those advanced technologies. Russian army, well, like the weapons, all the military equipment, it's not that modern, and I guess the results are coming. And for example, it's just a super beautiful story of our country. Just a few months ago, one of our influencers, he started the crowdfunding campaign to buy a Bayraktar for Ukraine, this drone, and the aim was to get 5 million euros in 3 weeks.
Wow.
We achieved that in 3 days. So all the people, they just were giving money for Ukraine, and that Bayraktar is quite successfully doing in the war at the moment. So
very
so,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and sanctions against Russia. What's your position, and what do you this should have been done in Lithuania?
So, as we understand, sanctions itself, it should be wide. Lithuania alone imposing sanctions, it's not sufficient. So I guess we are on the right way, because we are agreeing on the sanctions at the European Union level, and it moves further. But now, for example, we see the thing regarding the Schengen visas coming. Lithuania and Baltic countries and Poland, they will not let Russian people with Schengen visa inside our countries. And I guess the wider agreement among European countries might come. And that's important. That's important, you know, not to step back. So sanctions and military support, two things that we need to go further. We need to push, and that's the way how we need to win this war.
Okay, and Lithuania is one of the fastest growing EU country economical wise. How has it achieved this growth? And what are your recommendations to the countries who are struggling economically right now?
So I think like it depends definitely on the country. For example, in Lithuania's case, back in 2008, when Homeland Union and Lithuanian Christian Democrats were in power, we really worked hard on the foreign investments. We attracted lots of foreign investments into Lithuania, and it was a new thing, which helped us to survive the financial crisis, which started in 2008. Now we are working more on high-tech technologies. For IT, life sciences, laser industry, Lithuania is one of the leading countries, actually in top 3 countries in the world in laser industry. Really specific, but that's where we are pushing. High tech is our future, and if we want to have a bright future, then we have to push those high tech industries forward. And I guess it's going quite successful back here.
Very interesting. We both are the members of CDU in our countries. How has a party evolved during the last couple of years from your perspective, and what are remaining as main advantages of this union?
So that's a really good question. Actually, 2 years ago we won the elections. And it was a big wave of COVID-19. Then it started all the other things with Belarusian regime, legal migrant routes. The plane from Athens to Vilnius was landed in Minsk, and one journalist and his girlfriend were basically robbed. Then we have this big war in Ukraine, and all the things, all the issues, all the challenges during those last 2 years happened. In regular life, I guess it's enough, for 20 years. Now we have those things just in 2 years, and of course it is really big challenge also for our community, for our political community. But I'm really proud because during those 2 years, like, our unity became much more stronger. When you have challenge, you see who are your friends, and I'm really happy that during those last 2 years, we are among friends, and we are trying to face those challenges and to make Lithuania stronger. And I guess the things are going quite well despite all the situation that is not like, it doesn't depend on us. We need to face it.
Okay, and we are both in politics, and of course we both very well know what are the advantages and of this field. And how do you deal with the difficulties on a daily basis?
So our Prime Minister, Ingrida Šimonytė, she said when the challenges are coming, when you're facing, well, what she thinks that it will pass. It will pass. If you are just like you're trying somehow to solve the situation, you are trying to take it too deep, then it might become a problem. But if in general, if you have this perception that it will pass, it will go through, well, it makes a way easier. So I guess that's the right thing, especially during those crazy times that we are currently living in.
Yes, and I will not miss the opportunities and will ask you about Georgia. You know that my country, now is in a condition when it has to prove that it deserves to be the member of EU. This process is not easy, frankly speaking, but I really hope that we get back to the EU family very soon. How do you see the chances of Georgia? Yes.
So Lithuania is a country that has no doubts that Georgia is a part of European family, true friends, true our allies, and we are doing all the time our best to make this process faster. Of course, there are rules that every new country that wants to join European Union has to follow, and our members of European Parliament, Mr. Andrius Kubilius and Mr. Rasa Juknevičienė, well, they are working quite actively with Georgian questions, and at the moment, I guess it is really important to have agreement between civil society and political party members that the direction of the country is European direction. And when Russia is occupying territory of Georgia, the main thing is not just to occupy the territory. The main thing is to have Georgia not in the European family, but to have close to them. So I think that it is really important to find this unity. I imagine how difficult is that, but there are rules. There are certain criteria that Georgia needs to meet. I guess 12 criteria, and it's just the way to follow that and show clear signs to European institutions that that's our way.
Thank you. And now tell us about your hobbies. You have very overloaded work life, but it should be something that you do on your spare time.
So, well, that's a good question. During the last 2 years, it was super difficult to find some spare time for leisure. But Lithuania is a country of basketball. It's second religion,
yes, yeah.
And actually now European Basketball Championship is happening in Germany. So for all Lithuanians, including myself, it's really important to see our team winning. Tomorrow we'll have a game against Spain, and it's all about basketball back in my home country and back in my hometown. So that's probably the favorite thing, and also traveling. I love to see the countries. I love I had some opportunities to study abroad, and it was, I guess, one of the best experiences of my lifetime.
Very good. If not a politician, what would you be profession-wise?
I have a background in finance and banking and management, and I was working for some time in the finance consulting field. So I guess that would be the option. But at the moment, I'm really happy to be in this position, in this role, and to do like really big things for our country.
Are you an emotional person, and how well do you deal with your emotions?
Well, I guess I am trying to cope with my emotions. So it is better to breathe 10 times and then to tell what you think. And in politics, I guess that's important as well. So that's the recipe that I am using, and it works not that bad.
Thank you very, very much for your time and these opportunities for us and for my guests. Liebe Zuschauer, ich hoffe, Ihnen hat es Spaß gemacht und war das genug interessant, diese Interview für Sie. Ich werde sehr dankbar und froh sein, wenn Sie nochmal beim nächsten Mal einschalten und dabei seid. Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks. It was nice.